guys, it's Karina here. I have got my Hemlock and Oak here for a flip through for you. I only started using this planner I think at the end of June, and I just want to show you guys how I use this planner, how I transitioned into this planner, and how I am transitioning from this planner, and how this planner basically saved me from a bit of a planner funk that I was going through. Let's get started. So the first thing, if you haven't seen my unboxing of the Hemlock and Oak, I'm going to link it in the top right corner over here and straighten myself out here. So the Hemlock and Oak, this was the undated version. So all of the months were at the beginning of the year, and with the months they have an area for you to write down your goals, as well as a blank page, and I used the blank page to be able to kind of do some memory planning, because I've kind of fallen away from memory planning. It became too overwhelming for me by like February, so I stopped the memory planning, and I found this actually a lot more manageable in July. So I was able to do some goals, do some memory planning. And then they also have the monthly spread where I started doing habit tracking, as well as doing all of my social media planning, as well as any forward planning for events and things. So same thing again for August. I was not great at keeping track of my habits, although I did get more than 15,000 steps most days. I just wasn't great at actually writing them down. And then I love having my pictures here, and I use actually my Canon selfie. And I put the pictures in kind of like a grid so that they come out this size. And I just love having this for memory planning. It's really been really helpful and not so overwhelming, because it's just the key moments that I want to keep track of in the month. And then once again, the overall monthly view. I am really terrible at keeping track of my habits, and I really want to make sure that I do get into that going into 2022. Then in September, I knew that I wasn't using this to the fullest benefit that I could get from it. So I didn't really use this, but I still decorated the blank page here with things like the kids' first day of school, Henry losing a tooth, getting my first fountain pens, and things like that. Now I think this is the last month that I actually put pictures in. I haven't put pictures in for the rest of the year, but that's okay. And then I start off the month really well with tracking the habits, and then I kind of fall off. So that's tracking my habits is a habit that I need to get into. And then again, using the monthly spread. I find using the monthly spread for social media actually really helpful, because then I can see everything within the month, and I find planning it out this way so much better. And this way I also don't need a week, like a planner spread for every week of social media. It's a lot less decorating, a lot less planning out, and I find this has worked really well for me. And then October, I didn't really use this section too much, but I think I will once I print out the pictures. And then I did get a little bit better with the habit tracking, and then kind of fall off at the end of the month. November, didn't write anything here at all. But getting a little bit better with the habit tracking. But again, I mostly use this for forward planning as well as social media. And I actually take a little post-it here to kind of plan out what kits or what decor I'm going to use for each of my weekly spreads. And I find that really helpful. And then December, I didn't even bother decorating that side, but I did decorate this side because I know that I will be printing up some pictures here for December for Christmas. And then the overall monthly spread, I stopped habit tracking on December 8th. Oops. But I think overall with social media, it's been just really helpful to see what Instagram posts I want to put up and coincide with the YouTube. So I know pretty much ahead of time what my Instagram feed is going to look like. That's what the W and the C means, like the white background versus like a color background, which is this background. So it has been extremely helpful, and I will continue doing this in my Hobonichi. So then moving straight to the weekly section. So the first week that I used this was the week of June 28th, and I used an older kit from what was the company called? GP Sticker Studio, and I don't even know if they're around anymore, but this was me really playing around with the format and seeing the best way that I could use this. And to me right now, the way that I'm looking at it, it looks busy, but I know that every space has been filled with something that needed to be there. And again, you'll see, I guess, as I go through, I'm kind of figuring out what works for me in terms of how I like to notate events, appointments, work, things like that. And then the week of July 5th, I decided to kind of scale back on some of the decoration and really focus on the functional pieces of it. And then this is when I also decided that social media would be strictly in the monthly spread. And down the sidebar here, I would keep track of my sleep score as well as my workouts. And then down at the bottom here is where I keep track of breakfast, lunch, and dinner, as well as my steps and calories burned each day. And I do really like the overall look of it. I mean, to some people it looks really crazy messy, but I find this, the After the Pen is a mix of things that have happened, as well as, you know, tracking my food. So it's a mix of forward planning as well as memory planning. I like being able to look back in here and be like, oh, I took the time to paint my nails while I was watching Captain Corelli's mandolin. So this gives me really the ability to memory plan while also forward plan. And then this week used some date covers from Sticker, the company that is no longer open, and getting really into the habit tracking for sleep and workouts on this side. I think I used a lot of According to Ali stickers in here as well. I really like looking back on these and being able to see, you know, silhouette cameo tutorials, when I was working, when I had a day off. It's really nice to look back on. And then this, I used the washi from According to Ali along with some of her alcohol inks. And this is what I also like to play around with, is that I'd have different color schemes every week that I can try and make work. And that's when I also tried, you know, making sure my brush lettering was good and practicing with that. You could tell when I don't write anything else in here is that work was just so busy that I couldn't get anything else done except work. And work, I have a different planner, so I don't list work tasks or work meetings in here. And then going to going to Costco and IHOP with my parents, watching Schitt's Creek and working on the silhouette and new printer. So this was when I was prepping for my shop opening in August. My printer broke. So I do like to use a mix of emojis, which I find really fun, but also for me they're functional because they kind of outline what I'm doing at that particular point in time. I know some people don't really like the look of emojis, but I find them fun and functional. And then this week I used stickers from Dream Seeker from the Happy Planner, and this is where I really tried to use a combination of, you know, fun stickers, but also the functional boxes, this decor, and I really like the way that this turned out. I think that it's a mix of memory planning, but also it is very functional for me. This week I used a collab from According to Ali, and I can't remember who it was now, but somebody who was on the Happy Planner squad previously, and the colors are stunning. This was a week that I was on vacation, so I did a lot of shop prep this week, getting ready for the opening that I would be having the following week. And then this week I used the coffee stickers from According to Ali along with the matching or corresponding Tombow dual brush pens. And it's so funny looking back on this because it looks like I did a lot. It looks like I was really busy, but it's just a way of memory planning and making sure that, you know, even small things that I did on a day-to-day basis, like reading or catching up on my journal and, you know, watching certain things, I like looking back on that. So I like having this as my own memory planner. I don't have to make a separate planner or have something separate to track all of my memories, and I do this as I go, and I like to look back and be able to see that rather than the memory planner that I was trying to do in 2020 was stressful. It was stressful. And then this was the week that I used washi from the Coffee Monsters Co. And I love this blue and green and gray theme, which went well with the trip that my sister and I were taking over the weekend to the mountains. And then this was so out of my comfort comfort zone with the blue and orange, which actually kind of look like Edmonton Oilers colors. But the butterflies from According to Ally mixed with the black alcohol ink were just too gorgeous to pass up. And this was like, you know, I write things like felt so anxious about going back to work, driving back home. You know, I really like being able to look back on that and my 12 sheets designed and cut and walk with Lucy. It's just so nice to have this. That is not just a planner, but it is a way to look back on these memories. And then I used a kit from the Coffee Monsters Co. for back to school. And then this was when I started using kits, and I found that I could use either a Hobonichi kit, which is slightly smaller than the Hemlock and Oak, or I could use the mini kits from Let's Planet, and I found them, there was a lot of stickers in there, so I could really spread them out, but I also like how functional they are, and they worked really well in this. So with the Hemlock and Oak, you could use a Hobonichi kit, or you could use a mini kit from Let's Planet. Either one works really, really well. Then I had another kit from Let's Planet mixed in with some florals from According to Ally. And like, I just love playing around with the different washi at the top, and then playing around with the full boxes as well. And then this one I didn't have a kit. I used just the deco stickers from According to Ally, along with some of my own blackout stickers and my own date stickers. This was the first time that I used a kit from my shop, or a collection from my shop, and I was so nervous about it, but I'm really happy with how it turned out. This is still available in my shop. And then another kit from Let's Planet. It's funny, picture day. I thought picture day was on the 4th. So my kids were all dressed up for that day, and then I got to school and I thought, why isn't anyone else dressed up? And then I checked the email, it was actually on the 5th. So the kids were dressed up on both days. That's okay. At least I didn't miss it. And then, you know, tracking things like Lucy's bath time, having a nap, and, you know, going to Stylist with Adrian. Oh, my first trip to Stylist. Getting into fountain pens. So then moving to October 18th, where this is where I didn't actually use the kit. I used a decoration from Create with Mandy as well as According to Ally, and then washi at the top. So this is kind of a way to show how you can be as decorative as you want or as functional as you want, and you don't necessarily need a kit to be able to plan. And then the following week I used According to Ally's Spooky Kit, with paired with her terrazzo and her hexagon washi, and I like using these purple stickers because it doesn't scream Halloween. I don't normally like to decorate in Halloween. I'm not normally a seasonal planner. Let's just say that. The only seasons I will plan for are like spring and Christmas. So, ooh! When my Sailor Pro Gear arrived, and that emoji was the perfect one for that. And then the first week of November, I used this coffee washi from the Coffee Monsters Co. mixed in with, I believe these were also stickers from Create with Mandy, and then the According to Ally alcohol ink, which I have in almost every colorway because I think it goes with everything. And this is where I also played around with different color inks for fountain pens. So you can see my progression as well in the rabbit hole that I am falling down when it comes to fountain pens. And then this was my snowflake collection, which I paired with Simply Gilded washi. And I really, really like the snowflakes in this one, and I also love the blue ink. I went from being a planner that only used black ink to now trying to figure out what ink I'm going to use depending on the color of the stickers I'm using. Who knew? And then this week, just making sure I am still recording, I used washi from According to Ally mixed with some freebies from Let's Planet, and it was nice to actually pair different things from different shops. And I felt like this was a lot more functional. I didn't use as many stickers. You don't always need to. And then once it's all filled in, you've got all of the stickers down here, all of the emojis. Happy mail from According to Allie and Let's Planet. I ordered my new phone. My new sailor arrived. You know, watching movies. It's just fun to look back on. And once it's filled in, it's just... the lack of decoration in the before the pen doesn't really matter, because once it's all filled in, that's what makes the difference. And then again, stickers from According to Allie, and I used a different blue in this as well, a different blue fountain pen ink, and it was just gorgeous. Gorgeous. Although I feel like now down at the bottom I should have used a different ink for a bit of a contrast here. Then here I used, I can't remember what kit this was called from Let's Planet, but it was actually a Hobonichi kit, and I like using Hobonichi kits in the Hemlock and Oak. I can use either the mini kit or the Hobonichi kit, but I like this so much. I love the colors, and there were so many stickers. You get so much for your buck with Let's Planet that I was able to use stickers in my Hobonichi Weeks, in my Horizontal Happy Planner, and still have some left over. So, and then this week I used a combination of my Buffalo Plaid with Allie's Buffalo Plaid washi and her Christmas tree. I really like this, and I like using different emojis for work. It just makes it fun. It's still functional, but still fun. And then this washi I purchased as samples from Watch Me Washi. They're from Simply Gilded, and paired with poinsettias from According to Allie. A lot of movie watching. A lot of movie watching. And we did our cleaning on the Saturday because it was my parents' anniversary on the Sunday, so we wouldn't have had time to clean. And this is when you could see when I was watching all of the Christmas movies. And then the last week in my Hemlock and Oak for 2021, I used a kit from Let's Planet. I apologize, I don't remember the name of all of these kits. Along with the ink that I used was Pilot Iroshizuku Ina Ho, which is kind of like a yellowy brown, and I love that color ink. It's been so nice to look back and flip through this planner, because it's shown me how my style has changed since even the beginning of 2021. So, all right, but that is it for me. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments below. If you like this video, please leave me a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe. Thanks for watching and have a great day.